Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm live. Okay, so what's our topic today? Where is your sales? Yes, exactly today. So today I'm gonna share a little bit about some strategy, some systems so that you guys can free yourself up from getting trapped with sales. Hi, 学珍姐. Um, yeah, we're gonna wait for a couple of minutes before we start. How's everybody? Have you had dinner? If you can hear me loud and clear, just put yes. Just put yes at the chat box. I can see you guys. And let me pull up. Hello. Hi, Brian. I can actually display you guys. That's a benefit of having StreamYard. Okay, intend to start at 8:33. Please help me to share your streams. Help me to share whatever topic that I'm gonna share. So, it's Brian's first time after so long. Okay. I need to make sure that I can see myself, which is superbly important. Yep. Yes. Okay. All right. Please help me to share. Please help me to share. So many people actually are wondering what I am doing right now. But if you see whatever that is in my presentation slide, you will see one thing called Asia Entrepreneur, Asia Female Entrepreneur Network, which is something that I have intended to do very, very long time. It's something part of my vision of gathering and empowering females together. So why do I put female instead of women? Reason why is because I also realize that a lot of entrepreneurs are getting younger and younger. They range from probably at least the youngest entrepreneur that I know, which is a girl, sorry, is 11 years old. So, and that's why I do not put it a women entrepreneur, I put in female because I think that the mark of entrepreneurs getting younger are significant. They are really, really young right now. So even my child also would like to start up some business online. So it's a trend eventually. So my power vision is to empower females so that they can we can be actually in this niche group that can actually support each other. And I find that through networks, through close groups, tremendous opportunity can happen at very, very much on a very, very large scales. So that's why it's very important. So if let's say you think that network is very important, just type in network in the comments. Just type in network. Okay. So now it's 8:33. I shall share my screens. And it's always very embarrassing when I share my screen because I don't know whether I've done this right. Most of the time I find that I'm not doing this right. Like you see a very small me, and I need to rely like two screens to actually do this. Yeah, but thank you very much for sharing. If let's say you are sharing, I will be very delighted to share my slideshow. my presentation slide for you guys. I do not reserve. I can actually share this out to you guys. Just to let you know that my live webinar runs from Monday to Sunday, except for Thursday. So tomorrow, please don't tune in. I'm not around. 8:30 to 9 p.m. And what is the difference between the 90 days is every day I will prepare fresh contents. But as you can see, English and Mandarin contents would be roughly the same. English, so you can actually skip one of the English or Mandarin content. But I will really, really appreciate if, let's say, you guys can actually share all these contents out to those people that would probably value from this, because now I feel like it's pandemic and there's crisis. A lot of people are like entrepreneurs, especially sometimes even including me. We want to pause when there is pandemic happening. We want to pause when there's a crisis. Well, I'm not saying that the pausing is not good, but even pausing in your career, at sometimes you will think that, oh, I want to slack off a bit because now it's crisis. But actually, this is the entire different ball game. If let's say you are in a crisis, your company is in a crisis, this is time for you to entirely be different. This is the time for you to entirely be total opposite of you being slack off or you being take it chill, slow it down. This is not the momentum. This is the momentum where you really need to pick it up. Irregardless what's happening in the pandemic, irregardless of what's happening in the crisis, this is very important. Okay, so today I'm going to share a little bit of like when you are having sales problems, sales issues. Like, that everything that fuels sales is actually fuel the entire business is from sales. If a company doesn't have sales, literally you can actually close shop. So if let's say sales is that important, and I would actually categorize with, I would empathize with many people who doesn't do sales enough. I was in this trap sometimes back. I always think that manufacturing doesn't need to have sales. It's like, because we already have consistent streams of customer, we're running on high capacity, we don't need sales. I was entirely wrong. entirely wrong. It's because your customers will eventually close shops. Your customers will eventually walk away from you. But so if let's say you're not gathering new people into your sales pipeline, something is very, very wrong with the business. So and here I want to conclude three basic segments of how you can actually look at your sales today. So today is actually like more of like a checking rather than it's more of like a sharing. So it's like you can actually take this time to maybe pause and think about where upon of you it's your business. And if let's say today you're a self-employed or you're an employee, you can also do this as a check, like whether your company is having this kind of mindset, which is in red is in the no, green is I would encourage you to have it. Okay, so like red color means like whatever typical business mindset that I'm having right now. I realized that I have a wrong slide. Okay, whatever it is. Typical business mindset is red color means it's a big no. As this green color means it's something that you're supposed to employ, right? So and I'm going to categorize in always these three things, the mindset, the strategies, and the network. And it's really because I have done so much of research and have experienced so much of different types of tools. I feel that every time when I'm actually working on something, I'm actually relying on what are the mindsets am I supposed to have right now? And what are the strategies and tools am I supposed to execute this mindset or solve this problem or achieving this goal? And the final part would be, what is the network or who that can actually help me get done with this with the problems that I have, or help me get achieving the goals that I want to achieve. So actually throughout the 90 days, after the 90 days, and in between the times that I was actually experimenting with a lot of techniques and tools, and I actually come up with one technique that is called MSN, which is very easy for all of you to remember. M is for the mindset, S is for the strategies and the tool, and N is a network. And in any time and any space, if there is a problem happening in your business, problem happening in your life, it's always this three. And I find that it's an amazing thing that I sort of concluded around the time that I'm actually executing all this. Because as you guys know that I've been to like a lot of like coaching, classes, being mentored, being consultants coming in and everything. And that was my final piece of conclusion to make it really, really simple. Because a lot of times like coaches comes in and will tell you like very, very complex stuff, like superbly complex stuff. And like execution is so tough. So I'm gonna put it way simple in this case is to use the MSN, use the MSN rules. So so now, if let's say you are in sales, you want to check whether your sales is actually prospering or whether the sales is in the correct mindset or correct direction. You want to take a look at whether are you having this typical business mindset. Typical business mindset means that, you put blame on the economy, you put blame on the recession. If let's say your boss is actually having this kind of mindset, you should think about considering asking them or your boss to listen to my life. Like to listen about this particular topic. And all these topics are being shared to YouTube's. The link, actually, if you Google Samantha Chi, probably you can see one of my channels, because I've just started my channel. But all these slides or all these links will be shared there. So you can always go there and, grab a bite. Whenever you find that there's business problems, there are mindset problems, there are things that are happening in your life that you do not know how to handle, always check out on my page. If not, you can always go to YouTube. Okay, so typical business mindset will be like you will blame the economy. You will think that this is a recession. Everything should be different. And we should stay low. We should be very pessimistic. And another typical business mindset of quite a lot of companies, including me myself, very very long time ago, is I always have this excuse of not having budgets to hire any more sales, because we will say, "Come on, my business is not really doing very well. Why should I still hire sales?" But this is exactly the opposite. Like you should have sales, and then sometimes even bosses themselves will say that, my company is not that great, my product is not that great, and I'm always having competition from China. I'm always being competed, and I think this is the typical mindset of how business end up into loops of like having struggles getting sales, having struggles pivoting into like better or scaling up the business. The reason why is because just because the business owners or the entire culture mindsets are very different. If they were very gung-ho, then they will actually have entire different way of looking at things. So I'm going to put it out like new era business mindset. Just ignore the top part because I think I forgot to change 2 slides. So if it's a new era business mindset, what are you supposed to have? Like I've interviewed a lot of entrepreneurs or successful entrepreneurs. One of the things that amazed me a lot is like they will tell you that they make a lot of money during crisis. A lot of people boom during the crisis. And why is it not you? So if let's say you have this thought, I'm just gonna share this out to you guys. Like what I've noticed is a lot of companies are booming during crisis. I wouldn't want to say like if it's a food business or essential business, let's just forget about this. Just any normal business that also succumbed to the MCO was also not allowed to operate. And they come back. When they come back, they were so strong and they were so empowerment, and they were so strong in the market because they changed the entire perception of what or how they're supposed to be. And I was so amazed because literally like some of like even travel agencies can actually make it through, and they tell them that because of they changing their mindsets of how things are, they are making so much more money than they do before the crisis. So just to let you guys know that if let's say you're in a business trap, you're wondering where your sales is, the first thing that you need to alter is really your mindset. And you need to hire more salespeople. Without having salespeople, how are you going to get sales? And make sure that you give them the training, you give them the scripts, you tell them what they need to do, and you need to tell them like what a special show or magics that they need to present to their customers so that they can portray the best side. Because sometimes people hire sales, but they don't give them training. And when you have salesperson that is not on training, guess what? Like they flop in their telephone call, they flop in their interviews, they can't even make decent appointments, they can't even quantify who is their correct person to actually meet to make a decision, and they don't have confidence with their product, they do not know what is their product USP. USP means unique selling point. So what's so great about your product? So literally all this will actually become a cyclical thing, and that they don't even know what is so good about this thing and how can they sell to the customers. So then a lot of business owner will say like, see, I asked you, I told you already, if I hire 10 salesperson, I'm not going to get any sales. I'm just burden myself up with like, additional 30 to 40K just to hire additional salesperson. Its reason is because that you are not giving them proper training. Proper training means that are you sitting down together with them and identify what sort of scripts, how are they supposed to do a magic show in front of their customer every time they meet them? Are you sure that they are pumped up and they are very, very hungry and motivated to run sales? All this is so, so important for you to, it's all about the mindset as well. So if let's say if the business owner thinks that, oh, after I have my salesperson, I am sorted, no way. I used to be thinking like, oh, I'm going to hire like 10 salesperson and they're going to make money for me. No, it's not that easy. It's never not that easy. Yeah. If you actually understand how I felt, you can actually put in like, have you seen any of the businesses that that were actually not having training for the salesperson? Like, do they put them on training or do they put them on systems, or their owners? Are the owners actually sitting down with them to find out how they're supposed to run a sales? If you know any of the companies or you have any experience, just share it in the comments so that other people can actually, learn a little bit about what actually happens, and they can analyze themselves. What should they do? So this is just like my opinion of like how the mindset's supposed to be. Like, this is the typical top 3 mindsets that other people are not having. And they should have it right now. Right. So come to the next thing would be typical business sales strategy. So just now I was talking about more on the like mindset, like what sort of mindset are you supposed to have when you want to get this sales in, when you want to have sales, like where is your sales? We're wondering. A lot of business owners will have this mindset and say, okay, now is the crisis. I will need to wait and see. Wait, what? There's nothing to wait about. Like, time doesn't wait. People don't wait. Business don't wait. Your competitor will hope that you stay put. A lot of times, a lot of people will think that when during crisis, competitors are moving way faster ahead and you're going behind. You're actually not going behind. It's just that people are just running way ahead of you. So a lot of people, typical business, will say that wait and see. Should I hire more people? Wait and see. Should I do a renovation just to get this job done? Wait and see. So it's not typical a very, very good thing to do, because it's just going to stop you from moving forward. Okay. And typical sales strategy is they do not have any marketing activities. By all means, you need to have marketing activities. I was trapped in this particular big fault that I was having when I was, few years back. It's because I do not have any marketing activities, including like having my brand presence, having a decent website that people can do. Like, even if, let's say, now I know a lot of people are trapped in going onto like Facebook ads and social media ads. I can tell you it burns money, burns a lot of money. And if you don't know how to do it well, it's really, really painful. I can say it's really, really painful. So, but that's not just it. I mean, like, let's not just trap yourself into like having like billboards ads, having like magazine ads or newspaper ads or Facebook ads. Just merely people getting to call you, and when your people that are picking up the phone calls are giving a decent greeting and introducing their company well, it's a good marketing activities. So all these are in place. If let's say all these are in place, then you're very sorted. But there's too much things that you need to do right now. Like in this era, in this business, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, like what I'm doing right now. It's like you have to like do so much of that just to get that little bit of activities, but it's better than none. So a lot of typical business that I've seen, they do not have marketing activities at all. And they also rely on cold calling and not door to door. And which is the worst and the slowest way of doing sales. A lot of people feel that, okay, I have 10 per person, and I'll actually send people to go on like cold calling calls, like make sure that they call. But just let you ponder for a while. Have you ever buy something from people that you just met? I think this is one thing that it's unless that girl is like pretty or that guy is super handsome, and but most of the time you don't buy when you first meet somebody. And therefore I feel that cold calling is the slowest way for you to make any sales, and it's really time wasting, or it's really effort draining. Reason why is because, like, imagine the sales have to like travel a distance, make appointments, get rejected by the appointments, get postponed by the appointments, and then once they're in, they then only that they get to meet and introduce them. And after they meet and introduce them, they will say, nah, no, because I don't know you. Who are you? So I think this is the oldest way of like a sales strategy. So what is the newest way, or the new era way of doing sales strategies? Ignore that typical word. It's a typo error. So I have to repeat, it's typo. I didn't change it. So just ignore the top part. But the green is a way that you need to have a new era. So meaning to say, like, you really need to have proactively closed sales. Okay, this one, right? I actually learned it from one of the gurus, which is Grant Cardone. He's telling me that if this moment of time, whatever that you're not doing, whatever that you're doing right now, it's not helping you to close the sales, don't do it. Including every single person that is in your market. Today, if let's say you're not closing sales, don't do that activities, because you're just wasting money. You're just wasting your time. So we have to strategize in a way that you need to proactively close sales. Whether are you meeting one person, or meeting a supplier, or meeting your friends, are you proactively trying to get sales? Are you trying to get close to sales? So this is very, very important. If you agree with me, or you want to reflect a little bit about, are you doing that thing? Just type in, like, in comment, like, sales or whatsoever, so that you can actually remember, like, every single time that you're doing something, are you working towards sales? If today you're an employee, it's the same thing. It's whatever that you're doing, is it contribute to the sales of the company? Whether you're a production engineer, whether you're an R&D engineer, are you contributing to the sales? Whatever that you're doing right now, if it's not contributing to sales, stop. I would just want you to stop, because you're really wasting time. Even the drivers does sales for the company, because they either do marketing, they either steps up to do something, but they are actually doing sales for me. Delivery is part of the sales process. But if let's say today they're hanging out in front of my door, smoking cigarettes and not delivering my goods, they are not doing sales, and they deemed fired. Right. So you really need to identify every person, everybody inside your sales team. Are they making proactive sales? Are they closing sales? Are they in a pathway of trying to close the sales? If they are not, you probably have to think, why are they here in the first place? Okay. And by all means, as an entrepreneur, you really have to do that. You really have to be the bad guy to fire, right? Those people that are, nonsense in the company. And second tip that I think that is very, very important for you to have sales strategy is having smart marketing at a very, very low cost. Recently, as you guys know, that I'm actually launching one product called No Bag Beat It. No Bag Beat It. So it was a bidet, which is antibacterial. I'm in the painful path of like throwing a lot of money into like Facebook ads. And some of the ads and some of the campaigns were actually not doing very well. And I have to, like, after 2 months of doing it, I realized that something was really off. We have to like cut it. And we actually find collaborations better. And we sometimes think that we need to be really, really creative. And now Facebook ads is so expensive running right now. And I clearly think that probably we have to move on to TikTok or something like that to run ads or whatsoever. But anyway, but that is B2C. And at B2B, there are other ways of, doing marketing with a very, very low cost. And which I think one of them is like doing some networking. And the third part is, if let's say you're a smart business, you realize that they are creating very strong customer relationship. Regardless whether you can get your sales or you don't get your sales, you need to give that engagement to your customers so that your customer actually remember you. And if let's say anything happens, they have this perception, or he still remembers that this guy or a girl or a woman or a man has been introducing this product, and all he needs to do is just to flip back the email or their contacts or the WhatsApp, he or she will be able to actually make a connection to you. And it's because you gave them an impression, a good impression that, or great impression, that they can actually know that they can actually look for you for a solution. So it's very, very important that you guys need to have a very, very strong relationship with your customers. Okay, then end up with our third part. Our third part is our end part. End part is the network. So typical business ecosystem, like a lot of SMEs or a lot of small companies, I wouldn't want to say small, even sometimes big companies do that, but I would say typically most of the small companies, what happened to them is the ecosystem was not friendly at all. They do not have a very good network within their suppliers, their customers, and even they don't make friends with their customers and their competitors as well. Like, of course, you probably don't have to make friends with the competitors, but typical, some of the company do not even know who are their competitor is. Like, if you ask them, who is your competitor? I say, oh, no, I don't have any competitors. But or they don't know, in a sense like they don't know, not the sense of like they don't know their names, they know who they are, but they never put in some effort to get to know their competitor. Like a lot of times, you can see a lot of big giants companies that is in the market, they know each other very well. The reason, because sometimes you wouldn't know that the competitor is going to be joining venture to actually eat up all the small little fishes in the market. So I think it's very, very important for them, for you to know your competitor and be friends with them. Because be friends with the competitor so that you know whether in the future time, if you see right now in the crisis, okay, last time you won't see it, but right now I notice it so much that a lot of people in crisis, they are gathering up forces. They are joining up competitors together so that they can actually garner the markets. They can actually kill off a lot of people in the market. And that's what they do. That's part of the strategy. If not, right now you are very close to your competitor, maybe you should sit down and think of them like, let's join venture and, put up our funds together and, eat up somebody in the market so that you actually kill off quite a lot of small fishes in the pool and literally bring your brand name and the entire collaboration up to another level. Right. So another typical ecosystems that I know, it's like a lot of people that don't even want to know who are the supplier, because I have my purchases to my purchases. I have my purchases to check my pricing. Why should I make friends with my suppliers? But most of the time, business owner make friends with their suppliers because in times of terrible emergency, you need them. You burn all the bridges just because that they don't sell you a good price, or you burn all the bridges just because that you think that you don't need them. There's always some other suppliers around you that can serve you. You are wrong. Sometimes, at times, like us, when we're running high productions, at times you really, really would need that one supplier to help you out. And you'll be really, really surprised that those people who help you out is going to save you. So I would encourage you to actually make networks with your suppliers. Know who are they, what they do, how are they in the business, are they doing well, are they doing not well. I think this is part of us being very, very affectionate in the ecosystem, so that you garner a lot of support, you garner your brand name as well. Also, this is also one way of like cheap marketings, like people know you. And the third thing that I realized, that a lot of people don't make friends with customers as well. Like, for example, if let's say they have customers, they will say, I have my sales to serve them. I don't need to serve them, you see? And, I don't want to talk to my salesperson. I do not want to talk to my customers. Why? Because my customer is going to pinch me, or my customer is going to call me and, call me for discounts. And that's the reason why they are calling you, because they need something more than that. They need more help. And I feel that if let's say you're very, very close friends with your customers, most of the time they will no longer call you for discounts. They probably call you for the first time. They just want to see whether you mean business. But moving on, a lot of times they don't negotiate anymore unless they are really, really in need of help. So I think it's very, very important for you to know your competitor, make friends with supplier, and also your customers. Right. So now go to the third part, which is the green part, which is very, very similar to why I think that in this new era, the business ecosystem supposed to be having networking with your competitors, know your upstreams and your downstreams, and make great relationships with your customer. So tell me which one today that you find that is actually your best takeaway. Meaning to say, like, you find one of them or two of them are actually giving you a lot of values. Just put it down into the comments box so that I'll be really, really happy that the content that I prepared, it's something that it's very meaningful to you guys. Like did any of these points that I'm pointing down or pinning down in the presentation here, it's of values to you. It will be really, really delighted if, let's say, you can give me a response like, oh, this is good. Like, what part is good? Like, so what is your biggest takeaway out of this presentation? And I'm overrunning. It's 8:59, and so left one more minute for chit chat. And I want to leave you guys with one of the very, very quote that I've basically Googled, and I feel very, very much affected to it, is connected to it, is if you're not taking care of your customers, your competitor will. So sales is really, really about taking care of your customers, and sales is really, really the most essential things that needs to happen in your company. So if, let's say, today you're a salesperson, you're an employee, you're a business owner, you are the relative of a business owner, probably you just want to tell them that, sales is the most important part. Without sales, you can't survive. And consistent sales needs to happen every single day. Consistent sales. Like today, if, let's say, you're not doing anything that is working with your sales, stop. Okay. So so I can be connected on my Facebook. I'm Samantha Chi, which is right now you're here already. Instagram, I'm Samantha Chi. I'm trying to do my website, so it's going to be coming soon. Yep. So that's all for today. If you have any things that you like to find out more or whatever, just type in the comments. I'll be happy to help. If you are, you need help with some of your business or you have any questions regarding your business, you can always drop by. And my networks are coming up soon, so stay tuned as well. Okay, and I'll see you tomorrow. I know tomorrow I'm not on, so see you on Friday. Bye bye.